Welcome to ZenTen with Jackie Rose CCT with Zentangle, day 2 of this week. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in and out. Relax, let everything go. And we're going to start and we're going to work in this section right here. And the first thing we're going to do is kind of mimic this line here, giving it kind of an aura, nice and slow and relaxed. Slow and relaxed. So this has a nice aura here of this line. And if you want, you can actually trace over that line if you'd like. Now let's leave some space. And we're going to do something very similar, but let's give it a little more sex appeal. So let's come down and kind of give it a nice, very subtle swirl, like almost like a little, kind of an S shape. Instead of this arc shape, we've got kind of an, starting to do kind of an S, but then it kind of gets tired at the end. So just a very, don't think too much about it, and then we're going to aura that. So it's just, instead of an arc, we're giving it just a little bit more of a swirl there. And you can keep it an arc. It can even be straight lines. And we're going to do that one more time. And I think I'll just even do it one more here. So it doesn't matter how many times you do it, because your section might be a little bigger or smaller than mine, and it doesn't matter. So just kind of give it these kind of ribbons, if you will, not thinking too much about it, because it doesn't really matter what it looks like. And now what we're going to do in each one of these auras, we're going to fill them in with little orbs. And how we do that is we draw right along the edges. So it's almost as if we're squishing in balloons or something like that. And when we draw the next one, we draw right along. It comes off of the previous one we just drew. So we're tracing along the edges, tracing along the previous orb that we just did, kind of just that tip there. So as we start to draw along the edge, we kind of curve up and we just kind of touch that previous orb. Now you can draw this any way you like. You might start from the orb here and just draw up. Whatever works for you. And you could do it different every time. It doesn't matter how you draw these orbs, just that you draw them, focusing on each stroke nice and relaxed and nice and calm. I'm actually going to try some music in the background, and let's see how this works today. I think we'll just try it for today, and then we'll see. Okay. And with these little white specks here, you can color those in if you want to. And so you're going to do that with each one of these borders, nice and slow and relaxed, just drawing these orbs, which are imperfect circles, just round shapes. Nice and slow, focusing on each stroke, Each orb needs your undivided attention. Each stroke is meaningful and deliberate. So just focus on what you're drawing and letting go of how you draw it. Zentangle is all about not thinking about anything except what we're drawing. Now, if this music bothers you, well, I was going to say you can mute, but then you won't hear me. But you really don't need to hear me. All you really need to do is see what I'm doing. So right now I'm just going over those little areas that might still have a little white speck in them. So what are we going to do in between here? We're going to do the same thing, except much bigger. So we're going to bring in some nice big orbs. Doing that same thing, tracing along the edges, touching the previous one. Nice and slow and relaxed. And then with these here, you want to do that same thing, is just color that in. You know, if you decide you might want to do something different, you can. Like, you might want to put in little tiny orbs, you could do that. I think I'll do that a little bit because I have a nice big space. Really depends how much space you have and what your inner artist is thinking about. So to me, your inner artist is kind of like your subconscious mind that hasn't that knows what it wants to do, but it hasn't spoken to your conscious mind about it. But when we start to relax in Zentangle and we let go of thinking about things, then our inner artist comes through and is able to communicate with us on the surface. And I'm trying to decide if I wanted to keep that orbs or keep it dark. I think I'm going to keep it the original pattern, which is where we color them in. And actually the original pattern shows this, but also shows putting in like an orb that you kind of color in and keep white in the middle. But I don't really like that look, but only because when I draw it, I don't like the outcome, even though I'm not focusing on the outcome right now. But that's a matter of preference. You can do whatever you'd like. And then you do the same thing in each one of these sections. Nice and slow and relaxed. Tracing along the edges, nice big orb. This is a Zentangle original pattern called Onamato. And if you like the music, you can put in the comments section if you like it or don't like it. Is it distracting? Do you prefer that I do not have background music so you can just listen to your own music? Or do you not mind the music? So if you just write in the comments section, that would help me out a lot. So make sure you're feeling nice and relaxed, just focusing on what you're drawing or coloring. Remembering to breathe in and out with each stroke. So I kind of just filled the rest of the orbs in this way, but you can do whatever you want with that. And if you noticed, since yesterday I did do some more, I put in some more pendrils. So it's fun to kind of, if you want to keep adding to this after our 10 minutes is up, or 12 minutes, or 15, or 8, or 6, it's different every day. And you can always just keep adding more of these little pendrils. So, pendrils and Onamato. And that's it for today. Keep feeling relaxed and centered, and just be open to whatever comes your way today. And we will see you tomorrow.